Welcome to Planet MicroCap. I'm your host, Robert Kraft, and joining me today is Tim Clark. He is the CEO and director of Fury Gold Mines. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is FURY, Fury, on both the TSX and the NYSE American. And Fury Gold Mines will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please visit precioussummit.com. And with that, Tim, thank you so much for joining me today. How you doing?
I'm good, Robert. I'm excited to get out there. It's going to be a good conference.
100%. Couldn't agree more. So this is actually our first time doing an interview together discussing Fury Gold Mines. So can you start us off with a quick overview and history of the company?
Yeah, I mean, look, I came on the board about a year and a half ago. I've been the CEO about a year now. My background just quickly was in capital markets. I worked for a lot of the global firms. I focused a lot on the natural resources over almost 25 years. So when I left the industry, most recently I was with Bank of Montreal. I decided I wanted to get into the corporate side, and I joined the board. Really liked the group, liked the guys in the team, and the geologists were phenomenal. And what I liked most of all was that they had a lot of projects and they were focused in gold in Canada. I know from history of bringing companies down to raise money from actually all over the world. The first question any investor asks is, where is this located? The geopolitical platform has changed a lot, gotten a lot more risky, and I think it's going to be more so going forward, not less. The history with Fury was it was originally part of a breakup of a larger company called Orem, where they separated into three different companies from one. We picked up some assets along the way, but generally speaking, it was a sort of a way to monetize a larger company that was sort of split off in multiple areas, which makes a lot of sense. There was a silver company, a copper company, and a gold company. My history with this was this previous CEO was a good friend of mine, brought me on the board. He decided to leave 4 or 5 months later. They needed someone to sort of step in. They were in need of financing and sort of reconfiguring. The deal here was they had 4 assets spread across Canada. And for a small company, I thought it was sort of trying to do too much. And having experience working with just investors as well as with a group of geologists is that you need to be a little more focused. So we simplified the story. We went out and raised some money. The biggest kicker for me to step on and take the role was we had an opportunity to monetize an asset called Homestake Ridge, which is out in British Columbia. We sold that asset to Dolly Varden. We now own a third of the company, or 76.5 million shares. We got 2 boards on the seat. It's a silver play, and we get to participate in what I think is a great combination between their asset and ours. And they've been very successful in raising money and pushing that project forward. At the same time, it gives us an ability to divest some of the expenses plus a lot of the time. And we've got a good team, but we want to focus in on where we have our better assets. We've got one up in Newmont. It's a 300-kilometer property or project that's called Committee Bay. And we also have another project called Eau Claire, which is in Quebec, up in the James Bay region. And just north of that, we have a joint venture, and recently we cleaned that up. We bought out the third party along with our partner there, which is Newmont. So it's called the Éléonore South Joint Venture, and we're basically 50-50 with Newmont. We're the operator. It's right next door to their Éléonore mine. So the drilling program this past year has really been focused on where I think is our best bet for discovery, which is in Eau Claire, which is that James Bay region. And we had a couple of big investors come in and support us in that when we did a big raise after that sale. And it was a large U.S. investor on the mutual fund side, and Fidelity. They own 7.5% of the company. And then we got another company, we basically have 2 of the 3 largest producers of gold in the world own our stock. Newmont being one of them, and then we had another one take a 2.5% position last spring that we feel there's a lot of potential alignment. I can't mention the name. I'm not allowed to at this point, but people can figure it out pretty quickly. So that's what we're doing, and that's what we're advancing.
Very good. All right. So, I mean, you kind of hit on most of my questions that I was going to ask you here today. You kind of gave the picture on what makes the project unique and different, a bit about your background, how you came into the story. So, to close this out here today, what would you say are, from what you can tell us, what would you say are some of the company's main value catalysts that you want folks to pay attention to moving forward?
Yeah, well, sorry, I'm so used to these pitches. I want to get it all out at once because it explains it. Look, I like this company because one, it's in Canada. Two, we have multiple ways to win. We not only have a project in Quebec that's all ours, 100% owned, that we're drilling and we're actively finding gold. We've had good releases over the summer. We're in a partnership and alignment with Newmont on an asset that we have one of our best targets there. There's a 5.5 kilometer anomaly in the middle of the property. We get no value for it. We haven't marketed that heavily. And then we've got an asset with this Dolly Varden that I think is probably the most overlooked part of the story. It's worth a lot of money to us. We're going to be able to monetize that starting in February. And theoretically, we may never have to go out and do any raises. We've got just under $10 million in the bank right now. And for a company that's only worth $65 million, there's a lot of upside. And we've got good financing, good alignment. I think that we're trading at our 52-week low. And if we get any kind of spin or love out of our drill bit, which we're hoping to get, we got a lot of news coming this fall. This could be a real upside to the story. And yeah, I'm excited. And it's a great group, and it's hard to find good people to work with sometimes. So excited.
All right. Well, I can tell. So with that, Tim, where can our audience go and find more information on Fury Gold Mines?
Well, our website is furygoldmines.com, and everything's in there. And we're also, like you said, listed on both the TSX and the US. We'll be out in Beaver Creek and actively available to speak to anybody that wants to follow up with more questions. I've been doing this for a long time, and a lot of success is about building relationships, and that's how I intend to build a company, and that's where we'll be.
Very good. Well, Tim, thank you so much for joining me today. Really do appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe. And I'll see you in Beaver Creek.
Awesome, Robert. Thank you. Good luck to you too.
Thank you. And Fury Gold Mines, again, will be presenting at the upcoming Precious Metal Summit Beaver Creek, happening September 13th through 16th, 2022. For more information, please go to precioussummit.com.